What's going on, guys? It's Chad Trades here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made over $400 profit today day trading the NASDAQ market, also known as QQQ. So it definitely wasn't my best trading day today, but the market was a little choppy due to CPI report coming out this Thursday. So I did take my position size a little bit lighter, but overall making 400 bucks in less than 2 hours. You know, you can't complain. So that being said, let's go over a recap of my trades, what I think is going on with the market. So hopefully you can not only learn from my wins, but also my mistakes as well. So that being said, let's dive into my computer and go over the trade recap. All right, guys, so like I said, over $400 on the day, and you literally can't make this stuff up. You can see my profit is exactly 420, completely flat. So you guys know what that means tonight, right? Anyways, all jokes aside, guys, like I said, today was a little bit choppy of a market. So this is actually my trading software. So let me just go into some of the trades I took. So it's around 6 total trades today. Again, the market was just super choppy. There was no clear direction. A lot of people are kind of just waiting. If we actually look at the market, right, we can just see we're in a super choppy range. You know, we gapped up on Friday. So right, today is Monday. We gapped up during pre-market hours a little bit. And, you know, just chopping around in this range. And as you can see, we finally broke out of this chop towards the end of the day. I was busy. I was doing other stuff, so I wasn't able to capitalize on this. Again, I usually trade just the first 2 hours of the market, usually the first hour and a half, and then I go straight to the gym, right? So this is my trading day, was basically just watching all this chop the first couple hours of the day. So anyways, let's go ahead and go into the actual trades I took. Right, so the first trade I took actually started with a loss, right? So let's actually go into where I bought, where I sold, kind of my mindset here, and everything like that. So anyways, as you can see, my first buy entry was at $17.99, and then I had one more entry at $17.87, thinking we'd recover and make all-time highs again. So kind of my mindset here, if we look at this, so this is at 7:33, so this is right when the market opened basically. So let me go to the minute chart, and let's just go to where I actually started buying in. So as you can see, we had this huge gap up, literally the first minute, and then we sold off, right? So these are kind of the levels I was watching, was these, you know, support and resistance areas. So anyways, you know, I decided, you know, the market was looking bullish overall. I thought we would rally today. Turns out it just took longer than I thought it would. So when we started to gap down right here on this candle right here at 7:33 or 9:33 Eastern time, I'm Mountain Standard Time. Anyways, as you can see, I took a little position here. It was a very light position. And then as you can see, we started tumbling down. I took another little position right here, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to throw a stop loss right here in case we break down this zone, which we did. And I had this zone marked, you know, before I even took these trades, right? So as you can see, bought in here again, stop loss got triggered at 1781. Thank God it did, right? Because again, as traders, we can't win them all. We have to, you know, it's a probability game, right? So we have to keep our losses small no matter what. That's my rule. So I stop loss out. Thank God we did, because we, you know, basically tracked down all the way to that 1775 area. So that was the first, you know, trade of the day. Took a little loss, you know, just a little paper cut, nothing too crazy. So anyways, now let's go to the next trade. We ended up making $360 on this trade. So again, I was waiting for this reversal to happen. I just didn't know how low it would actually go. So this is what I was waiting for all morning. So as you can see, we bought back in at 7:54 or 9:54 Eastern time, and then once again at 1786. So this is like a half position size for me, so nothing crazy here. Again, I didn't want to go a full position size just because midterms are coming up, the market's super choppy, CPI is coming up. I don't feel confident in trading a full position size right now. So anyways, let's go into the chart and actually look at what happened here. So as you can see, I saw we were starting to gap up. I saw we, you know, started to establish this support right here, this intraday support, and we started to make an uptrend. And, you know, we had a lot of, you know, risk to reward here, right? So for those of you that don't know, you know, I basically just trade TQQs and SQs. These are basically just triple leverages of the market, right? So if QQQ, the NASDAQ market, goes up 1%, TQs will go up 3%, as you can see right here, right, 1.9. So I was able to catch some of this move. Again, I'll never be perfect, right? I'm not trying to catch the bottom and sell the top. I'm just trying to make a profit in that range. So anyways, as we can see, what time is this? 7:54. So let's look on here, which is really 9:54. So it looks like I started entering right here on these candlesticks. And then as you can see, we started to gap up. And that's where, I like looking at QQQ better. But this is where I started to take, some profits off. So as we can see, my first sell was at 17.98 at 8:01 or 10:01. And my last sell was 18:08. Kind of caught the top here. So anyways, now let's look at this. So let's see, 8:01. So my first sell was around right here. And then my second sell was this wake up we got right here. So again, I took a little loss and then I was able to, kind of make it back and make a little bit more on top of that to cover up those losses. So that was my next trade. At this point, I was around $122 in the profit for the day. Now let's go to the next trade. This is just a stupid little scalp. I don't even know what this was, so we'll skip this one. And the next one, so this one was another dumb little scalp. So this is kind of my mistake. Again, I would rate this trade a 2 out of 5. It was not a good trade at all. But this is at, let's see, 8.10. So let's go ahead and look at, that's going to be 10.10. So let's see. This is right here in this range, right? So I thought we would break out. So we basically gapped up, we pulled back. I was like, I'm going to enter thinking we were going to break this zone. That's kind of what I was waiting for all day, is we break this zone, right? We ended up breaking it. It just took a lot longer than I thought it would. So that's obviously my mistake. And anyways, going back to here, I kind of got in right here. It was just a small position size, nothing crazy. And we ended up gapping down and eventually gapped up, and I took some profits there. So just a little scalp. Again, this is like 1/4 of my normal position size, so it's nothing crazy. Okay, the next trade here, and again, this is another, I think it was a stupid trade on my part, horrible execution. We ended up making $150, but it kind of went bad, right? You can see that we started out this trade down $400, right? So this is horrible execution on my part. Luckily, I knew the market was kind of choppy, so I had a feeling it would come back. I felt kind of stupid to sell at those levels. So again, this is where I was thinking we would break out of this zone. So again, I was basically buying the top up here, which is a big mistake, right? This is a mistake I commonly make and it's something I'm working on. So I bought the top up here, thinking we would, just pull back and then finally break out of the zone. Like I said, which we eventually did. It just took way longer than I thought. So anyways, bought right here. I believe I averaged in once again right here at 1807. As you can see, we kept dropping. We had a huge drop off. Luckily, we kind of bounced at this support zone I had marked earlier. So for me, I didn't want to sell yet because we were making higher lows. If we actually look at this, right, the fact that we didn't make higher or lower lows here was a bullish sign, right? So I was like, okay, that's a good sign we're not breaking the lows of the day. I decided to add in one more position size right here, knowing that we would probably have a gap up back to this range eventually, right? So anyways, decided to add in one more here, and I finally sold right here, kind of averaging it out to $150 profit trade. So nothing too crazy there. Horrible execution. I should have just waited till we dropped, but that's something we can always say in trading: it shoulda, woulda, coulda. So again, we're always just trying to learn from our mistakes. So hopefully you can learn from my mistake I just made right there. So anyways, now we're going to go through the last trade I made for the day. I did this while I was at the gym and I had a very small position size. I'm talking like 1/10 of what I usually trade with. So nothing crazy here. But as you can see, we're starting to form. This is at 10:42. So let's go ahead and look at this. So this is actually 12:42 Eastern time, I believe. So let's go ahead and look at this, right? This is when I was at the gym. All right, so it looks like I bought in right here. We're starting to gap up. And again, I was waiting until we broke this zone, right? I knew we'd do it eventually. We're kind of trading at the bottom of the range here. So this is my support level I had marked for the day. We're holding it pretty well. So anyways, we gapped down a little bit and we finally had some strong buying power. And this is where I sold, right? I sold at this, big breakout. So I actually waited a little bit and sold at 1808 right here at 1108. So after that, basically, I was busy rest of the day. I had to take my car in to get new tires, everything like that. And eventually we gapped up and made a huge gap up. As you can see, if we go on the 5-minute chart, we were making this nice cup and handle pattern. So if we actually look at this, we can see we're making this nice cup and handle pattern. So this is kind of like the cup starting. So this is like a big, U shape. And then we have the handle right here. As you can see, we have this huge breakout, huge gap up. And then we kind of got the handle forming right here, just kind of consolidating. So my thesis was we would originally see this breakout. It just took a lot longer than I thought it would. So I made some mistakes along the way. I had a little bit of a bias going into today. So again, that's a mistake. That's a thing I'm trying to work on. So anyways, that's basically it. That's the last trade I had for the day. And that totaled me out to $420 profit for the day. So overall for the month, I've had one red day. The rest have been green days so far. So overall, I'm up around $1,700 for the month. So I'll take that all day long. So anyways, guys, I hope you learned a thing or two from this trade recap. If you did, all I ask you drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Lets me know you want more videos like this. That being said, I will see you in tomorrow's trade recap video going over how much I either made or lost. That way you can learn both from my mistakes and my wins. So that being said, I will see you in tomorrow's video with another trade recap.